You've already made like $2,000 and it's your first month.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited about it for sure.
Yeah,
It's
man,
kind of the
that's
same. Yeah,
there you go, man. So what you're doing is like you get them on the follow-up call.
yeah. And it's not even like intentional, really. It kind of just like I said, like you tell us all the time, just kind of, make them feel heard and like you're helping them and you're not here to try to close them and chomp at the bit. So I kind of try to balance like, all right, momentum. And then whenever, I throw the idea, I'm like, well, we can follow it up if you like. And then they're like, normally they bite. So
Damn, dude. So you're
trying it.
saying the two call close is the setup.
I think it is for me. I don't know. Trying to find my secret sauce, I guess.
Bro, you're finding it. There's some that have been on the calendar for a while now, right? And they're looking for that first win. They're looking to, get that closing, and they're having a tough time doing it, And so to do two in 1 week, and it's what, your second week or third week?
I think this is the third. Yeah, yeah, I think it's the third.
That's
Yeah.
that's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. What are you doing daily to see success? Like, what's your training regimen look like?
Every single morning I make sure, like kind of like we talked about in the million dollar morning, I get some exercise, which now I actually go to the gym. Today was my first day I could actually get there, so that was
There you
awesome.
go.
That
There you
definitely
go.
was the fire in my soul today. But I get some sort of like exercise, and I kind of what Brad said in the videos that are in our playbook, that wake up with gratitude. Like I've made that
Right.
a huge habit for sure. Like I still, obviously, I still kind of have to like keep myself in check with that and remind myself every morning. But I'm trying to make it to where like when I wake up, that's the first thing I'm like, all right, I'm grateful for this. This is awesome. So that's probably a huge part of it. And then to make sure to kind of put a couple breaks in there, like go
There you
get
go.
some food and make sure my body's like nourished, because that helps me stay sharp for sure.
Right.
And a Red Bull, that's definitely a key to it for
Yeah,
me.
Red Bull. Red Bull. Red Bull always
Yeah.
saves the day, huh?
It's not super healthy, but it works, I guess. So there's
There you
that.
go. There you go.
Just basic stuff like that, really. Just trying to keep my brain fed and my body happy. So
Right. And so when you get up, right, you have the gratitude, you look, get some exercise, you get your brain pumped up. What happens after all of that?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to sell some stuff or just talk to some people. Whatever I need to do, I'm ready to do it. And then the morning meetings are awesome too. I like hearing what you have to say in the morning. That gets me pretty going as well. Just kind of, work on this. Maybe don't do this as much, or the goals are like, I like goals. Goals are a huge thing too. That's another huge part. I like our weekly goals that we all kind of set. I review those every day. Whenever, like before I'm going through my first call or kind of eating breakfast, I get my notebook out and I review all my goals, and I kind of, check the boxes on what I need to push harder on or what's going good, stuff like that.
There you go. Do you mind me asking, like, what goals are you setting for yourself? Daily, weekly, or monthly, or all of those?
Weekly. I've just been going week by week so far, but right now, I had, which this is honestly, this is what did it, I think, because when Kevin and I had our one-on-one, he told me like after I, kind of pitch and tell them about it, then when they start bringing objections in, be a little bit more assertive with it. Like, you know, so every time they have an objection, I think to myself in my head, like, but why? And then kind of form like a why question to ask, like I understand, and then, but why type thing. Obviously word it better, but so that's my first goal, was to ask more but whys and a little bit more assertive with it, and that is 100% what got me on the first two. I
There
really
you
appreciate
go.
that. Kevin absolutely helped me out with that one, and then my other one was to wake up at 6 every morning, just so I have time to kind of think of myself and the whole gratitude thing, and more time to exercise, actually, because you touched on that earlier today about how you were doing like 4 hours at the gym and then you had to wake up earlier to kind of fit more calls in the gym. So I'm kind of in that ish phase right now, actually. And then the other one I have is getting in the right mindset pre-call. So like before every call, I try to give myself 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how much time I have at the time, to just get here and sit by my laptop and just, kind of hype myself up, if you will.
There you go.
There's that. And then just prioritizing calls over any social activities and stuff like that. Like at, you know, I on my time normally I leave my schedule up until like 6 or 7, and then because obviously they go like an hour if go good and stuff. So I try to
Mhm.
just keep most of my day open for this. So
When someone doesn't show, how do you spend that time? What do you do?
Depending on kind of what my day's looking like I have like a bunch of kind of at home things to do for therapy, like that they make me do just to kind of get my body right. So
Mm.
sometimes I'll do that, or other times I'll that's what this notebook is. This one's my all my follow-up list. So like I have everybody I need to follow up on, and I take notes on everybody. So I, remember kind of how to follow up and what to say and what their pain points or their motivation things were. So I'll go through that and kind of check the boxes and follow up with some people, and then I'll even take like I've been watching Jordan Belfort on YouTube a lot lately, and I've been taking
There you
some
go.
notes on his stuff. I love that dude.
I
I
like
mean, most
Jordan.
people
He's the
he's like a
man.
hater, like I think, but I love him. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's good
he's super
stuff.
good. So I've been watching like just a bunch of sales videos, really, like just trying to hone in and reviewing my own kind of like comparing, like, okay, I could do that better, I could do this better. So just kind of stuff like that, really. Or honestly, there's been like 2 or 3 days where I've got on my phone and just kind of taken a brain break. Like, all
Mhm.
right, I just need to take them because like I can kind of tell when my brain's like tired. I don't want to wear myself out if I got a call coming up. You know what I mean?
Right, right. You gotta take that break. You gotta get your energy back,
Yeah,
especially because energy moves these calls forward, honestly. And if you show up with bad energy, they're gonna feel that, and that
yep.
doesn't get it anywhere, right?
I agree. I agree.
There you go.
It's like I can tell that you're genuinely like passionate about this. Like I can just feel your energy. And in my head, I was like, sweet, so it's working. Like
There you
cool.
go, bro. Meditating works. Getting that break to like just sit with your thoughts, that's helpful. I mean, it's working out for you.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you're going through selling, and you touched on this earlier a little bit, saying that you're trying to help them get them to where they need to be, hearing them out. You did touch on that earlier, but I want to know a little bit more of like when you're in the sell, right? What goes through your mind exactly?
A lot of it is I kind of reflect back before I like start saying anything on the pitch in my head, and I kind of glance over at my notes, like what I have down for them, and then kind of what I had, like what they do, and like if they got kids or just something like that. I'll kind of like look over at that, and then I think about how they've acted, like their personality, their body language, that kind of thing. And then based on that, that's how I like my cadence and my delivery is, I'd say. So like if they're an upgoing, like kind of exciting person, and they're not like some glomery like kind of person, then I'll like when I go to pitch it to them, I'll like act all excited, not act all excited, but sort of like I'll get a little bit more excited because I'm like, this is a great opportunity. Like I really like, I think this would be awesome. Or if it was kind of a like a slower talker and they seem like they're in a little bit of they need some money spot, then I'll be like financially, I'll kind of talk a little slower and like financially this is an awesome opportunity type thing. So I just kind of base it on their cadence, I think.
I like that. So you're taking the time to read body language, you're taking the time to look at what you have on your notes, and you're trying to see, does this actually match up with what they're looking for?
Yeah, I think you have to, because if you don't, then I don't feel like they feel listened to or cared about. Like I think that ties in with the whole, letting them see that they're understood. You know
There
what I
you
mean?
go.
They don't
Yeah.
realize that it matters, but I think it does matter. Like just human psychology matters.
Right, right, and that's really good that you're reading, right? You're taking the time to read them, and you don't care whether that's like a good fit for them, or you don't care if it's like you're not assuming anything, is what I'm trying to say. And that's what a lot of closers, they get into the state of assuming things. And I've said it before, where if you assume something, it makes an ass of you and me. And so
Yeah.
try to assume nothing, right? And you're doing really good with that. So when you follow up on the second meeting, right, in between that first and second meeting, what are you doing?
Sent them the invite on the school page so they could go through the school page, and I basically sent them both the same message actually. And it was just like, hey, you mentioned how interested you were. I think this would be something awesome you can go through and browse in your free time. No pressure, no rush. Just, check it out. It's super cool. I think you'd be interested. Just something along those lines is what I said. But yeah,
Dude,
because that's
that's
a really
sick.
good piece of material. Because also what I do in all my calls, I share my screen through the school page, and I'll go through the main posts and just kind of like, I won't go in detail with it really. I just scroll through and I'm like, Brian posts on here daily, like all kinds of information, great tips, motivation, you name it, it's on here. And then I go to the classroom page and I just kind of show them like, these are all the classes we have. As you can see, I've done them. They've helped me immensely. And then I'm like, I always say, this is the cool part though. And then I click on the calendar and I'm like, this is all of our live classes. We communicate Monday through Fridays. We learn stuff. We just talk about whatever. It's all just to help us improve and grow. And that's normally what kind of gets them. So then I preview that. And then the ones that are quite interested, I send the school link invite, and that normally seems to do it, I guess. But
Dude. Yeah, that's a really good strategy, honestly. And I'm sure that a lot of closers hearing this, when they listen to this later, it's a strategy that they're going to start using, right? Sharing the screen, going through school, using my social proof as being real, right? And then going into the classes and using yourself as saying, hey, this is what I've gotten from it. These are our live classes. It's easy to join. Like you make it look so accessible that I think people can relate to you really
yeah,
easy. They can
absolutely.
relate to it. And not just that, but have you like told anyone your story and how like you ended up here? And does that you think leverage helps them?
I think so, 100%. Yes. Yes.
There you go. That's pretty
Absolutely.
awesome, man. That's
Because
awesome to know.
yeah, I told Sarah Lena that, the whole thing we talked about this morning with her when we were onboarding her, that, I tell you all the time, I'm genuinely thankful for my whole story, because here I am. Like it was the best thing that happened to me, kind of a blessing in disguise type thing. Cause I love this. Like I genuinely love what I do. So, like I tell you, it doesn't even feel like work. It's just like I wake up and just get after it on my own time. Like whenever, I mean, if I wanted to take a day off, I absolutely could, but I don't want to. Like it's nice. I don't care to. Like the weekends are that's plenty for me, you know?
There you
Instead of
go.
Monday's not like, oh, it's Monday. It's like all right, let's get it started, you know? It's
There you go.
motivation.
Let's get a jump
So,
on the week.
yeah.
Dude, I like that. That's awesome. So the getting into the sales techniques, I appreciate that a lot too. That means a lot for myself, for Kevin, for Rose and Veronica. It means a lot to us that you're able to build something doing a lot of what we're doing around you guys, because we do everything in the back end and you're really on the front lines. But that's why we try to create such a supportive environment to make you feel like you have the confidence, and it's all coming from you. It's always been in there. We're just helping you pull it out and you're
Yeah.
showing it, right? You're getting the results. Going back into the sales phase though, I just want to touch on this because I think this would be really important for everyone is when you get to the objection handling, right? When you get to that part where they're saying, hey, I just don't got the money, I just don't got the time, I just don't got whatever, right? Or they're saying, let me think about it, whatever they say. What do you do to calm your nerves to do that? When you go for the objection handle.
I put myself where I was. So whenever she dropped the price on me, and I was like, okay. And then she told me that you get a full refund, and she kind of ran through some of the opportunity and the community side of it and all that kind of stuff. And that's where I was like, okay, that's legit. And I kind of remember like our first one-on-one, actually, I told you that I was like, that's why I'm here mainly, is because of the full refund option. And like the fact that shows that you back what you do, and you actually are serious. And it's not some weird internet like, oh, hey, work for us, and yeah, we're gonna make money on you, and then you're screwed. You know what I mean? So
Right,
I
right.
that I kind of look back and I'm like, okay, I remember when I was there, I'm gonna give them the full refund. Like that is a huge part. And then just the community thing, like the support from all of us. And I always tell them like, yeah, I'm like, I feel like I'm half as close with the Sales Genius crew as like some of my family members, really. Like we talk to each other all day, every day. I've learned so much from Brian and Kevin and everybody. We all help each other out, and that's important. Like me, myself. Again, I try to put myself where I was, but I didn't realize how important community and group support was until now I'm in it, and now I've gone through it. And if I ever, for whatever reason, like if I ever went anywhere else, I would never go somewhere without it.
There you
So
go. There you go,
that's the
dude.
kind of stuff. That's what I think about, and just kind of like put myself where I was, and then try to, just support them in the same way that probably most people are feeling and thinking. So
Right, right, and that's a simple way to go about it. Don't make it all complex. I think what
yeah,
happens with closers is their mind starts racing, their heart starts thumping, their palms start sweating, right? And they're throwing up mom spaghetti running 1,000 miles a minute. And they
yeah,
just need to do exactly what you're saying. Keep it simple. Put yourself into their shoes, right? And there was a time when we were on that other side, right? And
yep,
I've been there myself where I was on the other side and I've gotten recruited into an offer or sold a program or something like that. And it feels a lot better when they're willing to listen to you, give you time to think about it. They're not just gunning for that. All right, this is what it is. Pull the trigger or goodbye, right?
yeah. And
Right.
then
Well,
the other part that helps a lot too is I tell them that made me even more interested as well was the fact that you care as much as you do and you like talk to us as much as you do and help us out as much as you do with your one-on-ones and Kevin's one-on-ones and everything like that. So that and I always stress on that, like the founder of Sales Genius is going out of his way. You know, he's got a business to run and he's gonna make time for you to meet with you, coach you, do whatever you need, help you out. So that's another big aspect I think that helps a lot too, which is, I mean, rightfully so. Like, absolutely. That's not even me trying to sell it. That's just truth. Like, that's
all
just
right.
how it is. So, you
That's
know,
awesome. That's I think that can go into really just about anything, whether it's selling coaching and placement or selling fitness programs or even sales coaching, really anything. If you can show someone that they're going to have the support after the purchase,
yep.
if you can show them that they're going to have people there for them after the purchase, I think that would make anyone want to do something, right?
Yeah, I agree.
There you go. That
100%
stuff
agree.
is really good. So what would you say to like I got just a few more questions. What would you say to people that are like hard selling or they're trying to push people? What would you say to those people?
I would say don't necessarily do that because I think it kind of just piggybacks onto the whole thing where, you know, if you feel pushy and you're too like try to be like dominant with it, then they're not going to take anything you say. Like they just kind of they get into it puts them in defense mode, I think.
Right. Fight or flight.
Yeah, yeah. That's my take on that, I'd say. Is just don't put them in fight or flight and just let them know that you're here to listen, understand, and help, not just buy it now. Like, you know. So
Yeah. Car sales tactics don't work here, right?
no.
That makes sense. There you go. So, dude, this is all really great advice. Like everything that you're saying is resonating with the way that we sell, with the way that I run the culture, with the way that you guys support each other, even on Kevin's side. Like that's all really good advice of what you're saying. And this will help all the closers on the team when they go and watch this later. This is going to help them see the path to success because all of the success here, it's all within you, right? You just have to reach in and find it, and
Yeah.
the structure is there, right? And so, what other tips might you have for, any other closers, say our new closers? What would you say to them?
I think my biggest tip is like really just piggybacks on what you said. It's you just got to see yourself doing it and like if you really believe you can do it and you really are motivated and hungry for it, you're gonna find ways to do it without even really realizing it. Like me, for example, I guess is I came in here. I haven't ever done anything like this before, but went through the training, watched the training. Like I went through the whole training course like 2.5 times, almost to three full times, and
Damn.
kind of just relayed all the information and made it to my own translation of everything, and then here I am. I guess I just kind of just go through it and do what I can. Whenever I'm doing something, I kind of review in my head like, is this helping me with where I want to be, or is this hurting me? Is this going to set me back? Obviously, 100% of the things you do in your life aren't going to help you with like everything, but for the most part, you can definitely control a lot of what you do and a lot of what happens. I think we can tap into like just our futures and a lot more than we think. I don't know. That might sound weird, but in my head, it makes sense, I guess.
No, dude, that
Manifesting.
totally makes sense. If you have the structure and you have the schedule and you have the desire and the goals, all it is just acquiring the skill set, right?
Yeah.
And then you can really do anything.
Yeah, so I guess to summarize it all, just truly believe in yourself. Like, if you really want to do it and you really think you can get there, you'll get there if you act on it. I guess that's probably my best advice. That's probably not very good, but that's what
Nah,
did it.
dude, that's
That's what
good.
does it for me. That's my half.
That's good stuff. No, that's really good stuff. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta believe in the opportunity. You gotta believe in the team. You gotta believe in, at the end of the day, you gotta believe in yourself,
Hmm.
right? Because don't pull that trigger if you don't believe in yourself. That's definitely right. And so I guess my last question, Carson, is would you rather eat pizza or would you rather eat steak? Which was your choice?
Definitely steak all day,
There you go, bro. There you go.
all day.
So you got good steak dinners coming your way. You
I just
definitely
had a
do.
steak last night.
Did you?
Yeah, my dad grilled me one.
Dude, there you go.
Yeah, because
Steak
he was
all
like, "You get
day.
to drive. You're a human again." I was like, "I know," and he's like, "Here's a steak." I was like, "Cool."
Dude, that's what's up. See, steak is a good way to celebrate. That's a good way to celebrate. And but the way that you're going, Carson, you're gonna be able to eat steak like as much as you want. And as often as you want. That's the cool thing about this, what we're doing here.